Okay guys, so in the previous part we have completed this screen of adding a blog to our database. In this part we are going to connect our Flutter app with a cloud storage. So it's already connected to the Firebase, but we will be basically setting up some rules and then uploading the image as well as these strings to the database. So let's see how we are going to do that. So first of all, you have to click on this database, and over here it will ask you to get started. If you click on it, it will start in the production mode, and these are the rules which will be visible. So right now, if we see the rules, you can see allow read write if true. So that is something which I have updated. It will be false initially for yourself. So you just have to convert that false to true. Once that is done, you just can publish over here. Like for example, if I change anything, you can just publish. Okay. So this is rule based. What this rule states, that the person don't have to be logged in to upload the data to our cloud Firestore. So that's being done. Now what we want the functionality. So if we click on this button right now, nothing is happening, right? So what we want, when we click on this button, then we should be popped to select an image, and then that image should be reflected over here, and the image will be done. Okay, then what we want to upload that image to Firebase storage. Okay, and then we will get the download URL of it, and all those things, the 4 strings, the author name, title and description, and the download URL will be saved to the cloud Firestore. So let's see how we are going to do that. So the first requirement is image picker, because we want to pick image. So we are going to just search image picker pub.dev. You can directly go into your pubspec.yaml file and add it. I have already done that, so it's image underscore picker and the latest version. Then I have also added Firebase Storage, Cloud Firestore, and random string. So why I have added random string? Because random string provides you a function by which we will be creating some random alphanumeric keys for our image name. Okay, so with that being said, let's get started and do it. So the first thing which you have to do, go to the library or lib folder and create a new folder inside of it, and we are going to call this services. Okay, inside of services we are going to create a new file that's going to be called crud.dot. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to initially import. So this is going to be we are going to create a service for add data, so that is going to be done through Firestore. So I'm just going to say cloud Firestore. Okay, so let's create a class, small class, and I'm going to call it crud methods. Okay, in that we are going to create a new function which is going to be called add data, and we are going to say blog data. Now this is going to be a future, and it's going to be a void because we are not going to return anything. Then I'm going to say asynchronous and fure. Okay, now what we will say, then we will say Firestore dot instance dot collection. Now over here we can give the name of the collection. So how I want to structure this this database is basically, guys, if you are not aware about how the data is structured in cloud Firestore, there is collection, and collection have documents. Each document can have collection and some values. So let me show you an example of it so that you are. So let me say this is our example collection, and let's say this is name, and this is going to be a value of Sanskar. Okay, now in this one, if we see, this is a document. Okay, so the document consists of the name of Sanskar. Now what we are going to do is basically, this is how it is structured. Now we are going to create a blogs collection, and we will save all our documents or blogs in that. So let me delete this first of all, and you just have to copy that, and we will be back to our code. Okay, so over here I will write it to be blogs dot, then I will say, so what we want Firestore, we are in the instance, right? Now what we want to add the data, so I will say add, and you can see it takes map. So where is it visible? Add, and you can see it takes map, so we will be providing a map to it. So yeah, we are just going to say block data which we are accepting over here, and then we will say dot catch error. So we are also making sure to catch errors if any occurs, and we are going to print it so that we can check and take action accordingly. Okay, so that's done for this crud.dart file. Now we are going to move on to the create_blog.dart, and inside of it we are going to create simply curd methods, and we are saying curd methods equals to new curd methods. Okay, so that's just initialization of it so that we can access that add data function. But before that, as I said, we want to use the image picker, right? So if we go and image picker pub.dev, then over there you can see that they have provided us this. So the first thing which you have to do for iOS is you have to add these. What is it and how it works? Let me show you that. Just open up your IDE, and inside of iOS folder you have to go to, where is it, runner and info.plist. Now inside of it you can see how I have arranged it. So I have already added this. So what you have to do, NSP photo usage description, you will add it over here, then a string. Now guys, this string will be visible to the user when we will be asking for the permission, so make sure to describe how exactly you are using it. Next, we are also using the camera, so we are adding that as well. For our app requirement, we are not using a microphone, so that's why I haven't added it. So it's very simple guys, you just basically have to copy this and surround it with key, and the string will be the description. Similarly for the second one. Okay, now this is done. What we have to do, we have to get this method of getImage, and we can paste it. So initially it have this camera option, but what I want is basically a gallery. So for that we have to actually import this. So to import, you're directly going to be available to do that, and then we are going to convert this to gallery. Okay, so how this function is working, it's going to get the image from the gallery in our case, and it's going to save it to a variable. So I'm going to create a new variable which is going to be a file, and I'm going to call it selected image. So what is this variable? This variable is simply the image which we have selected, and we are going to save it in, we are going to save the image which we are selecting from the gallery to this. Now if it shows an error like this, then you have mistakenly, like me, have imported dart.html, which we don't have to. What we have to import is dart.io, and once you will do that, it will be working perfectly fine. Okay, so that is done. Now what we want is, we want to call this function whenever the person clicks on that container which we created, right? This container. So I'm not 100% sure if I have surrounded it with gesture detector before, but what you have to do is you just have to surround this container with a widget. Okay, wrap it with a widget, and we are going to call it a gesture detector. Then we are going to type on tap and then this. Okay, so once that is done, you are just going to call getImage function from it, inside from it, and it's sync. So before trying to run it again, I'm going to just close this app. Okay, and I'm going to delete app, and I'm going to run it again. Okay, so we have defined all the condition, we have the getImage function being called. Now in the meanwhile, what I want to describe as well guys is, this container is simply an image, kind of a container with a white background and different border, and also it have an icon in the center. What we want, if the image is selected, that the image should be visible, right? So how we can do that? So what we will do, we will simply have something like this structure. We will say selected image. Okay, this is the variable which we just created, is equals to null, question mark. So what it is saying is, basically if the selected image is equals to null, then this. Okay, and if it's not, then after this one it will be followed. Okay, so that's how it works. Basically, if we have saying that selected image is equals to null, then this will be visible. If it's not, means basically it's not equals to null, then this will be visible. But we want the other way around, so I'm just gonna do it like this. Okay, so it's saying not equals to null, then this, and if it's equals to null, then this. So basically, if initially it will be null, right? When we are going to open the app screen for the first time, it's going to be null. So at that particular moment of time, we are going to be visible this container with white background and a border. Once it is loaded, we want this to be visible. So I'll say inside of a child, the first thing, and then we will say image.file, and we are going to use the same. I have misspelled, I think, selected. Okay, selected image. Okay, it's correct. So we are going to just load it over here. As well as we want all these different properties. We want the height to be 150. We want the width to be, like the media query which we have. Also, we want to give it the same margin. So we are going to add these different properties, and let me see if it's working. Okay guys, so this is how it will show. It will be asking for the permission. This app would like to access your photos, describe why, and this is actually the description which we write. So make sure to write it accordingly. Click OK. And I'm going to select, let's say, this image. And successfully it's visible over here. Now let's see why it is not taking up the whole space. Okay guys, so we have provided it the width, but it's not taking the whole space because of its dimension. So in this case, what we will do, we will basically say fit property. Excuse me. Okay, we have to use that inside of image. That is going to be fit property and box fit dot cover. What it does, it tries to cover all the space which is provided. So if I save that, you can see we don't have the border radius, right, which we have in the white circular. So I'm just going to copy that and click on image, click on, where is the bulb? Bulb. Okay, and then you have to write clip r rect, and then just paste this, a comma, and save. Now it's visible, right? Correct. So we have successfully added the image. Tap on the shoulder for yourself. And now what we have to do is we have to upload these data to the Firestore. Okay, how we are going to do that? We have already created a function for that. We just have to pass in a map, correct? So first thing first, we are going to get the download URL from this. So where is our image? By the way guys, we haven't uploaded, so paste down. Okay, so what we want to do is basically when we click on this upload button, the image should be uploaded. Then we will get the download URL. Then we will create a map with all these strings with the download URL, and then we will upload it. Okay, so let's do it. So what we have to do, firstly, we will be moving on to the actions. This is the action which we created, this one, right? We surrounded it with a container. We provided it a padding. Now we also wrap it with a widget which is a gesture detector, and we use the on-tap functionality. Inside of this on-tap, I want to create a new function which is going to be upload blog. Okay, and I'm going to end it with a semicolon. Now we will just get up and we are going to create this upload blog. And okay, so what do we want in this upload blog? The first thing is very simple. We don't want the user to be able to upload the blog if the image is not selected. How can we know that? We can simply say if selected image is equal or is not equals to null. That's what we want, right? We don't want that image to be equals to null. So if it's not equals to null, then we will do whatever business is. And if it is equals to null, then we will basically, kind of, for now, just let's do nothing. We will later on add a snack bar which says something like that. Okay, so we have if selected image is equals to null. We have now done that. Now what we want, if we are finalized that the image is already selected, we want to upload that to the Firebase storage. So we'll say uploading image to Firebase storage. Okay, how are we going to do that? So for this, we are going to import different things. The first thing should be Firebase storage. So let me try directly Firebase storage. Okay, so it will be auto imported. And we are going to say Firebase storage reference. So before we do that, we should need a Firebase storage reference. So I'm going to say the storage reference is, let's name it something like Firebase storage reference is equals to new, not new actually, we want the Firebase storage dot instance dot reference. Okay, we got the reference of the, let me show you or not, just tell you. So what does this does? We are getting the reference of the storage, what exact place we want to save. So this is the home kind of directory, you can call, and some terms for if we call it a kind of a directory. So if we are saying this Firebase storage.instance.reference, that is the reference to the main. Now what I want personally is I want to create a new folder. It's going to be called, let's say, blog images, and inside of it I want to add a child which is going to be the image. Correct? Okay, so as I said before, guys, I'm using a package in this, which is, where is it, random string, to generate some alphanumeric name for our package. So how we are going to use that? We are going to say, okay, let me do that. Okay, we are going to say alpha, I think it's called random alpha numeric, and the size. So if I click on this, okay, so you can see we have random alphanumeric, and I provided the length of it to be 9. Okay, so it will generate a random alphanumeric name for us. But as we know, each and every image have an extension. So I'm just going to provide JPG to our image. Okay, so now we have the reference. Now the next step is to create a task to upload this data to our storage. So how we are going to do that? We are going to say final. It's going to be storage upload task. Okay, and let's call it task is equals to Firebase storage reference, which we just created, dot put file. Okay, and inside of this I'm just going to pass the selected image. So it's going to save our selected image at this reference. Yeah, so now it's done. Now the next step is, guys, we want the download URL of that image, right? So just let's complete it and then we will test it out. So download URL, let me create a variable for that, and it's going to be await, and await task dot on complete. Okay, so to use this we need to have it asynchronous. Correct. So we are waiting till the task gets completed, and then we are going to call one thing which is called we need to get the reference first of all, and then we will say get download URL. Correct, right? So we are waiting till the task is completed, then we are getting the reference and then getting the download URL, and until all this is done we are waiting over here. That's what exactly it means. Now then what I just want to print it out so that I can have a look that we are getting it. So I'm just going to say this is URL and showing up the download URL. Okay, so this is done, guys. Now let me have a look and let me test it out and let's see if it works. So I have saved it. I don't think we need to reload it or something. Okay, let's see how good the how good it is. Hot reload or something like that. So I'm going to click on this. It's not working. Have I did? Okay, let me just hot reload it. So of course this screen would be gone. So let's wait for a second or two. Okay, is something happening or I'm just waiting for nothing? Okay, so we need to say upload blog. Any problem now? I don't think so. If I click on upload, okay, it's not visible as well, guys. Yeah, we want to be able to see if anything happening, right? So when I click on this icon, it should show me a circular indicator, right? So how can I do that? I am going to just create a new boolean value. I'm going to call it is loading, and let's provide it an initial value of false, because initially the loading should be no loading, right? Once we click on it, then only it should be true. So how we are going to use this is basically, if we go to our body, where is it? Yeah, in there I will just say is loading, kind of asking question, is loading, and if the answer is true, then I want you to show this, and if the answer is false, then I want you to show this. It's as simple as that. Then I will say child is going to be, what is it called? It's like circular progress indicator. Correct. And we want to give it alignment of alignment dot center. Oops, center. I'm going to save that. And if I go, okay, do we have any errors? No. So now I'm going to select an image. I'm going to select, let's say, this image. I'm just getting a fan of this image. Now I'm going to give it, this is useless right now. So I'm going to test this out. Okay, we're not. Okay, so guys, what we have to do, we have to say set state, and we will say is loading is equals to true. So whenever a user clicks on it and this condition is fulfilled, then we will set this to true. So now if I click on this, okay, so it's working now. If we go over here and reload it, there is a slight chance the last images were uploaded, but we were not able to notice that. But let's see. By the way, guys, like the internet speed of mine seems to be a little slow, and I'm working on it, so it will get better. Don't worry about it. Okay, so the image is not uploaded. Not a good sign. Let's see what is the problem. So we are basically providing the storage reference. We are creating a child, put file, and then if we scroll down a bit, we are getting the download URL. So let me see if we are getting anything. So we are not. So let's get back, and I'm going to just click on back and restart the app, because this is sometimes a problem, right, guys? Like, means I have done nothing wrong and just waiting for it. Okay, so we will restart the app by clicking on this, and also check if we are doing everything right or not. So we are putting up the file which we selected, and yeah, everything seems fine. Let's wait for it for a second or two to get it launched, and let's see how it works. Okay, so it's finally running. If we click on the add button and we click OK and select an image, for example, let's select this image and click on upload. So it's going to load, and let's open up our storage. And well, we don't have any option to understand if it's done, so we should be able to do something of that nature. So I'm just going to add some function. For example, what can we say? We can say when this is done, just navigator dot pop. So it will just close this screen when the process is done. Okay, so let's wait for it to be done. Okay, so I think most probably our rules is set. The rules is not should not be a problem, because rule is also important, which we should see. Okay, so internet is not happy with, okay, this it's loading. Okay, so we should go to rules and check out if it's fine or not. So according to the rules right now, it says allow read write if request auth equals to null, equals to null. So it's fine. It's the rules is not a problem by any means. But let me see. Firebase storage and Firebase storage dot reference, and we're going to put the file in the storage reference, and then we are getting the download URL. So the most of the processes is fine. There is no issue in that. I think the image size is quite large. That can be a problem as well, because it is a high quality image downloaded from Unsplash, and my internet is quite done for today since I have uploaded 2 videos on it. Okay, guys, it's working perfectly fine. If we click on this, we get the image. Okay, that's good. Okay, So I'm going to go back to Visual Studio Code. What is happening? Why am I opening this code? Okay, so I'm going to open up the Visual Studio Code. So it's working perfectly fine, guys. For some reason it's not closing because I think the hot reload is a hot restart or something like. It's not working perfectly fine. Okay, anyways, so now as the image is done, what we want, the next step is to create a map. The map is going to be of string and string. So if you have no experience, what is map? Map is basically a collection of key value pairs. Okay, so for this map I'm just going to call it blog map, and let's see how map look like. So map will have a key. What is key? It's going to be key value pair. So let's say the first key is going to be image URL. Okay, so I'm going to call it download URL. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Okay, this is good. Okay, then we will have another one which is going to be author name, and it's going to be author name. The next is going to be, what do we have? We have title and description. So I'm going to call title, and I'm going to call description, and description. Okay, so these are all these. The map is ready. Now the next thing is to use that particular method which we just created, this one. The initialization of it is done. So what we can do is we can simply call this dot add data. We can pass on our blog map, and it will provide us a then property. So we can say then we'll get some result, and once it's done we can call this navigator.pop.context after that. So let me restart the app and let's test this out. So in the last process we see that the upload of image is working fine. So in this one let's try to select a smaller image. Okay, so we will give it a author name. I'm going to call it just giving my name, and mountains feeling is great, something like that. I'm just using a small size image, guys, uh, to make sure it happens a bit quick. We don't have to wait for it for quite long. So I'm just gonna quit the Xcode, and the image should be uploaded as well as the blog collection will be created and the document will be added. So let's see, let's wait. So when this will be done, as I have added navigator.pop.context, it should also close the screen and go back to the home screen. So let's see if we go to the blog images, how many images we have. And so we just have one images which was uploaded last time. It's not a very big images per se, but you know, internet is problematic right now. Okay, so it's loading. I don't want you to be waiting, just let me get it done and I'll be back in some seconds. Okay, so it's done before saying that. So let's see. It should be uploaded. Man, please load a bit faster. Okay. So this is what we are expecting, guys. The image should be uploaded to the Firebase storage. Okay. And in the Firestore, we should be able to see a block collection, blocks collection, and it's going to have a document with a random ID, and that document is going to have 4 properties which we provide in the map. So let's see, guys. It's pretty interesting, guys. Means this is something which you should understand as well, is that we haven't written a lot line of code, and it's just, let me show you like how many line of code do we write to upload this. Like, you cannot call this 4 lines of code by any means. It's just, but even if you call like 5 lines of code, and we have, okay guys, so you can see the data is up and running. So if I copy this up, you can check it out, that if we try to just load this image through something like image.network and then provide this URL, we can load this image as well, and which is one of the requirement. That's why I got that download URL, because we will be showing it in this home screen. Okay, really means sometimes net just tries to. Anyways, so I'm going to create one more. I'm going to, and let's call this some random description, and I'm going to upload that as well. Okay, so you can see the image is loaded. So yeah guys, the task for this video is completed. We have successfully selected the image, we have uploaded the image to Firebase storage, then we have uploaded all these, the download URL as well as the author name, the title, description to the Firestore. So the task for this video is completed. In the next video we are going to fetch that data and show it in a list view in the home screen. So I'll see you in the next one.